I'm really excited for everyone to see where my family came from. And I know that some people are wondering if they're all like me.
So we're going to come back to the village, okay? We're going to come back here. It's hard to leave, so then you have to properly. You okay?
I won't sweat.
We're going to...
We'll say bye properly.
Yeah.
Hi, Ellis.
Hi, Noki.
I want to, we had a chance to talk, and one of the things that you shared with me was, unlike other rooters, you knew your ancestral village, you even knew some of your relatives. So what did this experience mean to you to go back?
Well, the main thing is the majority of them, they spoke the local dialect, which I didn't, and my mom was always the in-between translator when we did have family functions. So you know how it is, right? If somebody does not speak the language, people kind of just speak for them or through them. So being here and practicing my Cantonese and my Mandarin, just to try to communicate with them on my own, and really building that relationship with them, that was probably the big highlight. And I didn't want to just be, my mother's daughter, who they just, oh, okay, yeah, you grew up abroad, cool. Whereas now I can go back and I feel like there's this bond that we've created together.
During the rooting, I know that Frank asked if you wanted to take a moment to reflect. I know that in the business, for folks that don't know, it's just the rooting experience can be very busy, very cacophonous. And he pulled you aside and said, do you want to take a moment? You stepped away. Can you tell me about that experience?
Well, it was really scary, but not because I was scared, because I was more terrified of all that eye sweat that was going to come down. And I'm like, oh, all these cameras and videos are on me. But I did appreciate that he came up to me and kind of let me have that moment. So I stepped off under a tree, and I just I'm like, all right, I'm gonna stand here and just kind of take it all in and see what it means to me. And the moment I did that, I'm like, oh crap, I'm gonna cry. So I was just like, okay, take it in. And then I walked around and continued asking questions with my relatives as we were walking through the village. But at least I knew how important and meaningful this trip has been to me, because the moment I just stepped away from the cameras, away from the crowds that were there, I could feel how heavy it was for me. And so that was kind of my brief moment, and I knew how important this was.
As you may have seen from the video, you didn't say goodbye to your relatives, not just once, but twice. So tell me about what was going through your mind during that entire experience.
So one thing that happened during my rooting is, I guess we're all in this moment, and it was almost the end, we're all taking photos, but the officials had to kind of keep us on schedule, and they were like, everybody to the bus, and we're like, wait, what? We're just taking photos. I hadn't even got to the part where I had been able to really say goodbye to them properly, but we were all shuffled onto the bus. And then that last bit of the clip, I was not sure if my relatives had known that we were gonna come back, because that was our secret plan. But we ended up driving out of the village really far, and then because the officials, they can't just ditch us in the village. They wanted to complete their task of ushering us through from place to place. And so we kind of hurriedly got on the bus and never got to say goodbye properly. And after this video, Sifu was able to bring us back, and they were coming to meet us in the hall where we had initially met. And I finally got to say a proper goodbye to them, and then we were able to walk back to our bus, our home, and then finally didn't feel like I just ditched them without a word.
And what did that So I'm gonna just ask, what did that mean, seeing that second goodbye and seeing the look on their face?
You'll always miss family. I don't like this question. Well, my family lives in Hong Kong, so great, I get to start all the, I sweat. So my family lives in Hong Kong. My closest relative is my sister in Seattle. So this experience, it just, makes me realize how important family is. And during the event, everyone is like, oh, a lot of people were rediscovering their roots, but this event for me was a family reunion. So it's really important.
Thank you, Ellis.